Karoline Leavitt believed she could confront Jasmine Crockett live on air, embarrass her, and walk away unscathed. What she never accounted for was the resolve of a woman who understood silence better than outrage, and how it could shift everything when wielded with precision. It all began quietly on a typical Wednesday. Jasmine was in her Dallas office, reviewing deposition prep with her legal counsel, Brandon Keyes. Nothing about the day felt special, until Samira, her chief of staff, walked in, holding her phone, with a look that fell somewhere between concern and intrigue. Without a word, Samira handed over the device. It wasn't a news alert or official summons. It was a screenshot, an unfiltered direct message from Karoline herself. No legal buffer, no formal tone, just raw words. "I know this message might not reach you, but I need to try. I'm sorry. I went too far. I thought I was being brave, but now I see I was reckless. This has cost me more than I imagined. I'm asking you to end the lawsuit." Jasmine read the message slowly. She didn't flinch. She didn't reply. Instead, she passed the phone back with calm indifference. "Don't leak it. Let someone else do that." And someone did. Within hours, the message went viral, posted by a political journalist. No one confirmed who sent it, but everyone knew it was real. It was just 88 words, but those words ripped through the media like wildfire. Commentators labeled it everything from a confession to a calculated move. CNN framed it as vulnerability, MSNBC praised Jasmine's silence, and Fox News debated privacy violation, but never denied authenticity. The message had gone beyond legal implications. It became a cultural reckoning. Back at Jasmine's office, her team watched the fallout unfold in real time. Donations surged. Emails flooded in, some pleading for forgiveness, others demanding follow-through. Samira asked her directly, "People want a response." Jasmine simply replied, "She already..." "Got it, I didn't write back." That silence became the loudest response anyone could imagine. Political strategists, educators, even faith leaders weighed in. Her restraint wasn't just seen as strength, it was seen as leadership. Meanwhile, Karoline's inner circle panicked. Her PR rep begged her to release a statement, but Karoline refused. "They think I'm weak. I won't give them that." Her voice cracked on a Zoom call, and someone on that very call leaked her emotional outburst. The quote hit headlines, "I'm not begging, I'm setting boundaries." But it didn't land. Viewers had already seen the message. They knew better. Jasmine, in contrast, unplugged. That night, she ate dinner in silence, fully aware of the storm she wasn't fueling. She didn't post, didn't react, just observed. And in that stillness, something grew. Newsrooms began calling it the Crockett silence. High schools debated it. Sermons were preached about it. Jasmine never sought this attention, yet it followed her, because her silence wasn't emptiness, it was presence. Days passed. She kept doing her job, committee meetings, constituent visits, policy reviews. But now, when she entered rooms, heads turned. Her voice didn't rise, but it resonated more deeply. Her team felt the shift too. Brandon handed her a stack of op-eds and news clippings. She didn't look at them. "I didn't do it for headlines." "Exactly," he said. "That's why they hit harder." Karoline, on the other hand, was spiraling. Her explanations felt forced. One day she said the message was taken out of context. The next, she claimed she didn't write it. Analysts dissected her body language. "She's performing sincerity." "Not feeling it," said one expert. And Jasmine, still silent. Support for Jasmine kept growing. Artists painted murals. Veterans penned open letters. Even political allies of Karoline started backing away. A former pundit, who once admired Karoline's rawness, wrote, "There's a line between boldness and cruelty. Jasmine taught me that." Karoline tried fighting back. She launched a live stream titled, "The Truth They Don't Want You to Hear." But the comments told another story. She had history. You had a microphone, one viewer wrote. Another added, she blinked. You didn't. Every move Karoline made now fed the very fire she tried to escape. Her silence wasn't control. It was absence. Jasmine's was control. It was intention. Karoline's brand began collapsing. First, her skincare sponsor dropped her. Then her media appearances were canceled. Even her fiancé grew distant. When she confronted him, his words cut deep. You won't admit what you did. While Karoline fought to stay relevant, Jasmine rose without lifting a finger. One afternoon, she walked into her church in Dallas. An elder approached her after service. "Thank you for not lowering yourself," he said. She nodded. Some things don't deserve a reply. But things weren't over. They were just beginning. The first legal blow came without fanfare. Longtime podcast sponsor cut ties with Karoline. No comment, no press release, just silence. Then her national morning show booking vanished. "We're shifting tone," the producer said. Karoline understood what that meant. She built her brand on fire, but now it just looked like smoke. Inside her condo, she paced. Her phone didn't ring. Her inbox was empty. Her staff gone. Her relationship fractured. She asked her fiancé, "You're still with me, right?" Silence. Then, "I don't know who you are anymore." That silence wasn't powerful. It was damning. Meanwhile, Jasmine held another town hall. A teacher later said, "She moves like someone who knows who she is." And Karoline? She didn't. Her interns quit. One left a note. "You stood on people, not beside them." At her PR meeting, she was told, "Go quiet." She laughed. "I'm not Jasmine." The consultant's reply, "Exactly." Back at Jasmine's office, Brandon received an email that shifted everything. A former campaign staffer sent strategy notes from Karoline's team. It was all there, talking points, comebacks, and a section titled Lines to Disrupt Progressive, Women of Color. One line read, "Accuse her of playing the victim if she mentions race." Brandon printed it, called Jasmine. "It's not just reckless anymore, it's rehearsed." Jasmine said, "Keep building." And they did. More. Evidence came in. A former producer swore under oath Karoline practiced targeting women of color. It wasn't spontaneous. It was strategic. A pattern, not a mistake. The case wasn't personal now. It was structural. Jasmine didn't want punishment. She wanted change. Karoline tried one last video. "You can cancel me, but not the truth," she said. But the leaked notes were already viral. The public saw it. It wasn't a slip. It was a script. Karoline's video and the leaked strategy notes began circulating side by side, her face frozen mid-smirk, her words lined up with documented intent. The internet didn't rage this time. It settled. And in that calm came something more devastating than outrage, clarity. Public perception flipped. Influencers deleted past endorsements. High school civics teachers played the clip in class. A podcast titled Humiliation by Design broke records on its first day. Jasmine didn't post about it, didn't acknowledge it. But she read the transcripts quietly, thoughtfully, as they were placed on her desk one by one. In Brandon's office, silence hung like truth. "She just handed us her whole defense," he said, and didn't even realize it. Jasmine didn't celebrate. She reviewed the latest legal statements, measured every witness detail, adjusted only for accuracy, not flair. Her case didn't need extra weight. It already had something rare, intent and impact. Meanwhile, Karoline was unraveling. She held a team meeting. Only 3 people showed up. The ones who didn't speak. Karoline stared at them like they'd betrayed her, then whispered, "I didn't mean for it to go this far." But it already had. The next blow came quietly. Her photo vanished from the Kansas City conservative speaker tour. No announcement. Just gone. Karoline called an old media contact. "Can you help me get ahead of this?" The voice replied, "You'd have to say something true first," and hung up. Back in Dallas, Jasmine's legal brief reached 63 pages, tight, lean, focused. Emails, sworn statements, campaign documents. No speculation, just structure. One paragraph read, "The panel moment was not impulsive, it was rehearsed." Jasmine read it twice. "We're not proving harm," she said. "We're proving strategy." Karoline's collapse continued. Her agent dropped her. A major sponsor cut ties. Even her fiancé disappeared from her life. No dramatic exit, just silence and a missing toothbrush. Alone in her condo, she scrolled through blank notifications, inboxes now empty, content team disbanded. She opened a bottle of wine, didn't drink it. Stared at the wall. There was no audience anymore. No replies. Just her. Meanwhile, in Dallas, Jasmine met with her mentorship program team. No headlines, no quotes, just logistics and next steps. Then came a new message. A former strategist of Karoline's campaign sent in a voice recording. In it, Karoline's voice could be heard saying, "If there's a black woman on the panel, prep 2 lines. One soft, one sharp. They're easy to throw off. Just sound like you're telling the truth." Brandon played it 3 times. He didn't call the press. He called Jasmine. "We have her voice now," he said. Jasmine took a breath. "Does it change our case?" "No," Brandon said. "But it changes how the world hears it." The story ignited again. Politico ran a headline. From influence to accountability, civil rights groups issued statements, but Jasmine stayed still. She met with her district's youth services, reviewed housing proposals, attended budget hearings. No press briefings, no commentary. But people were watching, quietly, steadily. A nonprofit in Seattle hosted a workshop titled "Holding Your Ground Without Losing Your Voice." Jasmine wasn't there, but her name was. Her quotes were. Meanwhile, Karoline doubled down. She launched a video series, quick monologues in her kitchen. One clip read, "They want me gone, I won't leave." But views dropped. Comments thinned. Engagement declined. Her voice echoed, but fewer people were listening. A call came into Brandon's office. It was Karoline's new lawyer. "We're exploring settlement," he said. Brandon replied without emotion, "Put it in writing." The offer arrived. 8 figures. No admission of guilt. 2 years of full withdrawal from public platforms. No podcasts, no interviews, no appearances. Jasmine read every page. Alone. No cameras. No advisors in the room. Just her. She didn't ask if it was enough money. She asked, "Is this accountability or just a shortcut?" The next 2 days were quiet. The document sat untouched. Samira didn't push. Brandon didn't nudge. When Jasmine finally picked it up again, she didn't think about winning. She thought about Amira, the girl who'd handed her that note weeks earlier. "Thank you for not letting them talk to you like you don't matter." That, she remembered. Brandon arrived early the next morning, coffee in hand, eyes tired. "She's going away," he said. "Does it mean she learns?" Jasmine shrugged. "We don't control that. But we control what the next girl sees." She opened a press draft she hadn't shared yet. 4 lines. "Some things deserve courtrooms. Some things deserve change. I chose change." Brandon read it. Understated. "Perfect." Jasmine signed the settlement. It broke by noon. News outlets scrambled. Crockett accepts settlement. But the subhead told more. Financial compensation and media withdrawal for minimum 2 years. No victory dance. No tweet storms. Jasmine posted a single photo. The courthouse steps. Caption, "Thank you to those who never asked me to stay silent." Within 48 hours, it was shared over 200,000 times. Karoline's team issued their own message, dry, hollow. Karoline will step away to refocus on her private future. No apology, no responsibility, just disappearance. Back in her condo, Karoline closed her laptop. No more press, no content team, no assistant. Just 2 bottles of sparkling water and a silence that no longer empowered her. It swallowed her. Meanwhile, Jasmine kept working. Town halls, youth summits. No one asked about the lawsuit anymore. They asked about calm, about strength. At one event, a young man asked, "How did you stay calm?" Jasmine smiled. "Because I wasn't trying to win. I was trying to stop us from pretending things are okay when they're not." The headlines faded, but something stuck. Jasmine hadn't shouted. She hadn't postured. She'd held the line, and people noticed. She spoke at a high school in Beaumont. No media, just gym bleachers. Students didn't ask about Karoline. They asked about confidence. Jasmine told them, "You don't have to speak louder, just mean it when you do." Meanwhile, Karoline adjusted to being unseen, her socials gone, her voice heard only in private journals. She wrote, "They didn't destroy me, they just stopped looking." Jasmine's office stayed busy. People wrote in with letters, not about the case, but about how they saw themselves differently now. A teacher in Akron wrote, "I wish I'd stood up for myself the way you did." Jasmine didn't post it. She filed it away quietly. Brandon noticed something one day, mid-meeting. "You know it's rare," he said, "to go through all that and still be steady." Jasmine looked at him. "I wasn't steady. I was exhausted, but I stayed on my feet." That's what people remembered. Even Samira, always measured, finally said, "You didn't just win. You made quiet the loudest thing in the room." Months passed, but the effect lingered. In St. Paul, a youth summit hosted a workshop called Accountability Without Anger. A women's college in Vermont added Jasmine's case to its curriculum. Professors quoted her. Activists referenced her. Even Karoline's absence made a point. Real consequences happened. Finally. At Spelman, Jasmine gave one final talk. No podium. Just her, a mic, and a stool. Students asked about dignity, control, and staying true. "People think silence is weakness," Jasmine said. "It's not. It's strategy." One student asked, "Did you ever want to scream back?" Jasmine smiled. "Every day. But that's what she wanted, to drag me out of myself. I refused." That line spread, but Jasmine didn't post it. She went home, fed her dog, folded. Laundry. Let the world talk. Let the silence mean something. One last encounter stuck with her. A woman and her daughter met her outside a community meeting. The mother said, "She didn't believe she could be heard without shouting, but you showed her she can." Jasmine smiled. That's a start. Back at her office, Samira reviewed program proposals. Brandon finalized the archives. The case was over, but its legacy was just beginning. Samira asked, "You think the silence mattered?" Jasmine nodded. "It made people listen. That's more than most noise ever does." And Brandon added, "You didn't just respond. You changed how people hear things." In Seattle, a nonprofit held a seminar named after Jasmine's quote, "Hold the line without raising your voice." Karoline's podcast feed remained inactive. Her accounts were gone. People said she moved. Others said she was rebranding. But it didn't matter. For once, there had been a real cost. And that left a mark deeper than any scandal. At another summit, a student asked Jasmine, "What would you tell someone scared to speak up?" She paused, then answered, "It's okay to be scared. Just don't mistake silence for safety. And don't speak just because you're angry. Speak because the silence is too heavy to carry." The room didn't clap. It listened. Because Jasmine Crockett didn't just hold her ground. She changed the ground beneath everyone else's feet.